Hello everybody, my name is Graham Elwood and you are watching The Political Vigilante, making Gotham great again. So, California Assembly passed a statewide rent control bill and the governor will sign. This happened earlier last month in September, and it's still sitting on Governor Newsom's desk in the state of California. This is significant because California, like many places, but has severe out-of-control rent. Developers have come in. What happened? After the 2008 crash, developers and management companies bought up a lot of single-family homes, and they've been skyrocketing rents. And we have an insane homeless problem in just about every major city that I've seen. San Diego, Sacramento, LA, San Francisco, San Jose, all have severe homeless problems. And yet there's these massive high rises going up with $3,000 one bedrooms and all this crazy stuff. Right in downtown all over Los Angeles. You'll see these fancy new buildings and literally like a tent city. So we've been trying to, because rent right now, it's like people are paying 30, 40, 50% of their monthly income is going towards rent. Rent should be about 20% of your income. That's what your housing costs should be on average. They say about 1 week's salary is about what you should pay in rent, right? So this was, by the way, this was submitted by Patreon supporter Crafty Geek. One of the great ways to support the show is go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood, and you can submit articles like this for $5 a month. You can get bonus content, you can get all kinds of stuff, and please support the show because YouTube has been unsubscribing people. We climbed up to 53,000 really quick, and now we've been slowly, we were at 53,200 and 100. Now we're about to go under 53,000 subscribers. So please hit the subscriber button. Even if you've done it before, make sure you're subscribed because they might have unsubscribed you. Hit the bell notification button for every time new videos happen. And I go live every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific. So Assembly Bill 1482, which will bar landlords from hiking rents more than 5%, plus local inflation in 1 year, was approved this afternoon in the State Assembly on a 46-22 vote. It will apply to cities that don't already have rent control laws and expand rent control in those that do. So folks are being asked to pay 50, 60, 70% of their net spendable income on rent because landlords are raising the rent, said Assembly Member Richard Bloom, who's my state assembly member in Santa Monica where I live. Who's opposing this bill? California Association of Realtors, an influential lobby group, has opposed the bill. Now, according to Crafty Geek, there's some stuff within this bill that could potentially give landlords more leeway to evict. I'm going to read what he wrote, or whoever Crafty Geek is. So this is the this is what was said. Housing that is detached single-family residential dwelling units that meets both of the following requirements. The owner is a natural person who owns and leases no more than 10 units and does not have an ownership interest in any other rental residential real property through any other entity. There is a written lease for the dwelling that includes a provision certifying that the owner meets the provisions of subparagraph A and notifying the tenant that the dwelling is not subject to this section. I've read this stuff over. Non-corporate natural landlords renting all of this. It seems like fall under the exemption because my tenants and I share a kitchen and a bathroom. But all right. So it's really. There's one critical flaw. There are exemptions to just case eviction that are not reflected as exemptions to the rent cap. So it sounds like, but my question with this, Crafty Geek, and going into the general article here, is this. If they're opposed to this, then it must be a good bill. That's the first thing I think. If they're afraid they're going to lose money, so they don't care about. They want high rents. right? 1482 would cover units that are not already protected because LA's rent control law only applies to buildings constructed before 1978. So that's how they've gotten around. That's why they keep building new stuff, because they can get around. They don't need to put rent control in it. Now, this bill would make them have to do that, as I understand it. The bill would cover several 100,000 newer units that opened in nearly 3 decades from 78 to 2004. As I understand it, I think this is a good thing. Overall, I think it's a good thing. If that's true, that there is a critical flaw in there, I don't know, just reading that, what Crafty Geek sent, it didn't ring enough for me. Now, maybe I don't understand this law enough, but what it sounds like to me, like this, is big. Because I know they've been using that in LA County, in the city of Los Angeles. Oh, it was built after 1978, so rent control doesn't apply. I live in the political vigilante world headquarters are in a rent control department. So I like rent control a lot, because I'd be paying probably $800 more a month if I wasn't living in rent control based on where I live, close to the beach. So I'm in favor of this. And as it stands now, this was passed on September 11th, and I went to this website, as of the 24th, it is enrolled and presented. It's still sitting on the governor's desk. My understanding, Governor Newsom has not signed it. Right. So the amendments, it was suspended here, and then the amendments occurred. 48 to 26, it passed, and it's been sitting on the governor's desk. I just did a screen cap off of this website that just shows the status. It's the government's website, the state of California's website. So I think overall this is probably a good thing. And I appreciate Crafty Geek submitting it and even pointing out the flaws of it. If it does give people landlords an easier, there's some loophole, one little exemption where there's certain people they could evict easier, that I obviously wouldn't like. But right now it looks overall like it's a better thing, because we need rent control in the state of California. They just passed public banks, and Governor Newsom, who's pretty much a pretty corporate Democrat neoliberal guy, passed it. But I think his reasoning is probably more as a thumb in the face of anything that pisses off Trump. He wants to do that. Not that I'm opposed to that, but he's just sort of doing the Trump bad, but whatever. A public bank is a good thing. Whatever his reasons were, I don't care. A public bank's a good thing, and I think ultimately rent control is a good thing. That's my opinion. I appreciate Crafty Geek for submitting this and even giving me an opinion that maybe is contradictory. We don't all have to agree. I appreciate the opinions. I appreciate the different points of view. That's what this show's all about. So thanks for supporting what I do. You can go to patreon.com. You can go to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood and support the show. Like and subscribe. Please make sure you've hit the subscribe button. They are unsubscribing. My numbers are starting to drop for the first time. It's really pissing me off because we had such great growth. The show is really getting out there. So share these videos, because they're throttling them. They're not promoting my videos now. So push them out there, and go to GrahamElwood.com for all my tour dates. We're going to Australia, Progressive Comedy Tour, Ron Placone and I, in November. The 14th, Melbourne, 15th, Adelaide, 17th, Sydney, and 22nd, we are going to Perth. So go to GrahamElwood.com. Thank you for supporting the show. You're all making Gotham great again. And boom, shave the knuckles for justice.